Hey guys, it's Rachel, and today we are making this funfetti birthday cake, and it's from the Momofuku Milk Bar cookbook. I've had this cookbook for a while now actually, and I haven't made any recipes from it yet, but today we are changing that by making this birthday cake, and I have tried some of the cake, you guys, and it is really good. Definitely a perfect birthday cake if you guys are looking for a birthday recipe. And today is a perfect occasion for this cake because exactly 1 week from today will be my 18th birthday, if my shirt hasn't given that away yet. But I don't know, it's just so weird to be 18 soon. Now I am like really obligated to learn how to drive. If you guys are also a senior in high school and you don't know how to drive, I'm here to tell you that you are not alone. Anyways though, that was a super weird tangent from this cake, but this cake is perfect for a birthday party. So let me go ahead and teach you guys how to make it now, and let's get started. First off, in a large bowl, you're going to need a half stick of softened butter, along with a third cup of vegetable shortening, 1 1/4 cups of granulated sugar, and 3 tablespoons of brown sugar. Then go ahead and cream that until it gets nice and light and fluffy, about 2 to 3 minutes or so. This recipe is also really nice because you basically use your stand mixer for the entire process, so there's no arm work involved. Next up, we're going to crack in 3 eggs. And just make sure these are at room temperature so it combines nice and evenly. Then just give that a mix for about 2 to 3 minutes. Once that's all nice and combined, you're going to slowly add in a half cup of buttermilk. Next, drizzle in a third cup of canola oil and 2 teaspoons of clear vanilla extract. In her cookbook, Tosi emphasizes that it is really important to use clear vanilla extract. She says it gives it a really nostalgic, almost kind of artificial flavor, but feel free to use the real stuff if you want to. Regardless of what kind of vanilla extract you go for, you're just going to whip this for about 4 to 6 minutes and make sure it gets really nice and fluffy. Then add in 2 cups of cake flour. And if you don't have cake flour, I'll have a substitute recipe in the description box below. Then add in 1 1/2 teaspoons of baking powder, 3/4 teaspoons of salt, and of course a 1/4 cup of rainbow sprinkles. Make sure you don't use non-pearl sprinkles here. They tend to kind of bleed and make that brownish color when you mix a bunch of different colors together, so they're not exactly the best option for this cake. Next, you're going to pour this into a 9 by 13 inch pan that has been greased and lined with parchment paper. Go ahead and spread that out. And then sprinkle another 2 tablespoons of sprinkles on top. Although when you think about it, the sprinkles aren't actually going to show, so I'm not sure why Tosi includes that step, but I guess it looks kind of cute when you bake it. Then go ahead and bake that off at 350 for 30 to 35 minutes. Now we're going to make the birthday cake crumb. This is something that is really unique to Momofuku Milk Bar. Think of it as kind of like the crumble topping that would normally go on a coffee cake. In the bowl of a stand mixer, you're going to need a half cup of sugar, 1 1/2 tablespoons of brown sugar, 3/4 cups of cake flour, a half teaspoon of baking powder, a half teaspoon of salt, and 2 tablespoons of sprinkles. Then go ahead and give that a mix. Afterwards, you're going to add in a 1/4 cup of canola oil, along with another tablespoon of clear vanilla extract, and just mix that until you get nice coarse crumbs. Next time I would probably cut back on the clear vanilla extract though. I thought the full tablespoon was a little bit too nostalgic for me. Next time I would only add in 1 teaspoon. Afterwards, you're just going to spread this out on a parchment paper lined baking sheet, and then bake this off at 350 for about 20 minutes. And you should have this really pretty crumble mixture. It almost looks like a cereal to me. Now let's make the birthday cake frosting. In the bowl of a stand mixer, you're going to need 2 ounces of softened cream cheese, along with 1 stick of butter, and a 1/4 cup of vegetable shortening. This way you've got kind of a trifecta of creaminess going on. Then whip that for about 2 to 3 minutes. Next up, you're going to add in 2 tablespoons of corn syrup. Corn syrup is a pretty unique ingredient here. It's typically not in frosting, and Tosi explains that it gives it a really soft and creamy texture even after it's been in the fridge. And of course, because Tosi loves her clear vanilla extract, we're going to add in 1 more tablespoon. Whip that for another 2 to 3 minutes until it gets really nice and light. Then add in 1 1/4 cups of confectioner's sugar, along with a half teaspoon of salt, and a pinch of baking powder. Again, very unique, and she doesn't exactly say why she adds it, but my best guess is that it's not going to change the frosting too much if you leave it out. Then whip that for a final 2 to 3 minutes. You can probably see why we're using a stand mixer today, otherwise it is a whole lot of mixing, but if you're up for the challenge you can totally use a hand mixer here, or even by hand if you want to skip the gym for today. Now our cake should be ready. What's kind of interesting is that the cake has almost a meringue layer on top, but I guess it makes sense because you do whip the eggs quite a bit. Before I turn my cake out onto my surface, I'm just going to trim the edges. Then run a knife around the edge. And then in one swift motion, flip the cake out onto your cutting board. Afterwards, just peel off the parchment paper. I always think that this part is so satisfying. Next up, I'm going to grab a 6-inch cookie cutter and just cut out 2 circles of cake. And in case you don't have a 6-inch cookie cutter, I'll have a 6-inch template linked in the description box below. And then cut out 2 halves of a circle to make a 3rd layer for the center. And then eat the rest of the cake scraps. To assemble our cake, I'm first going to lay down some frosting. Then we're going to spoon on some of Tozie's birthday cake soak. It's just 1/4 cup of milk and a teaspoon of clear vanilla extract, and it just keeps the cake really nice and moist. Now I'm just going to pipe out a spiral of frosting. In her cookbook, Tozie actually uses a cake ring mold, and this gets you really even sides, but in case you don't have one, I wanted to try out this technique today, and I think it works out really well. So I'm just going to keep stacking my cake, and we're going in a pattern of cake, birthday cake soak, frosting, and birthday cake crumbs. You might have noticed that I forgot to add the birthday cake soak on the final layer, but it still tasted really good. For the decoration on top, just pile on a little mini mountain of birthday cake crumbs. Alright guys, our Funfetti birthday cake is finished now, and I'm happy to say the cake is so good, you guys. Definitely super nostalgic of birthday cakes you might have had when you were younger. Anyways though, I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. Thank you for celebrating my 18th birthday with me today, or I guess a week from today technically. Make sure to follow me on Instagram at Kawaii Sweet Eats, on Facebook at Kawaii Sweet World, and I'll talk to you all very soon. Bye guys! Thank you so much for watching. Click below for more videos and don't forget to subscribe for more cute recipes. Talk to you soon.